You've got this universe, right? It's almost 14 billion years old. It's filled with trillions of galaxies, and each of those has billions of stars. And yet, there's just this silence. A silence so huge it's become one of the biggest mysteries in science. So let's dive into this puzzle. Why does a vast, ancient cosmos seem so completely and totally empty?
It all boils down to this one simple question. Just 3 words. Where is everybody? This is the heart of what we call the Fermi Paradox. And it might just be one of the most profound and honestly unsettling questions we could ever ask about our place in the universe.
And what's really wild is where this question came from. It wasn't dreamed up in some grand observatory or a high-tech lab. Nope, it was asked during a totally normal, casual lunch between a few physicists. It's just such a crazy contrast, an everyday moment giving birth to this absolutely massive cosmic question.
The person who asked it? That was the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Enrico Fermi. He was at Los Alamos National Laboratory. And the story goes that the conversation turned to UFOs and alien life. And right in the middle of all the chatter, Fermi just blurts it out. A question so simple, yet so deep, it apparently stopped everyone in their tracks.
Okay, so why is this question such a paradox? Well, to really get it, you have to wrap your head around the mind-boggling scale we're talking about. The numbers are what make the silence so loud. So let's break it down.
Let's just start with our own cosmic backyard, the Milky Way galaxy. Scientists figure there are somewhere around 400 billion stars in our galaxy alone. That's 400 billion chances for planets and solar systems to form.
Now let's narrow that down a bit. Of all those stars, a pretty conservative guess is that there are about 40 billion planets that are roughly Earth-sized, and they're in what we call the habitable zone, that sweet spot where water could exist as a liquid. 40 billion potential homes for life just in our galaxy.
And if you think that's a big number, well, hold on. If we zoom all the way out, the part of the universe we can see has an estimated 2 trillion other galaxies, each one with its own billions of stars and planets. I mean, with numbers like that, the odds for life seem completely overwhelming.
So here's the real kicker. Based on pure probability, the universe shouldn't just have life. It should be absolutely teeming with civilizations. It should be a noisy, bustling, cosmic metropolis. But when we point our telescopes out there and listen, all we get is silence. That right there, that's the paradox.
And what makes this puzzle even weirder is this idea of the great expectation. Any civilization that's even a little more advanced than us could, in theory, learn to harness the power of its star, develop interstellar travel, and colonize the entire galaxy in, say, 1 to 10 million years. Now that sounds like a long time, but on a cosmic scale, it's nothing. The Milky Way has been around for over 10 billion years. So, yeah, where are they?
This leads us to our first set of possible answers. And I gotta warn you, this one is pretty sobering. What if the reason for the silence is there's just no one else to talk to? What if we are truly fundamentally alone? This is maybe the simplest and most profound explanation. It's called the rare Earth hypothesis. The idea is that all the things that had to go just right for life to start here, our planet's stable orbit, its magnetic field, the specific chemistry, that all of that was such a fluke, such an improbable cosmic accident that it only happened once. Here.
Okay, but here's a more complex idea. The Great Filter. This theory suggests that there's some kind of wall, some incredibly hard step in the evolution of life that is almost impossible to get past. It could be the leap from non-living chemicals to the first cell, or the jump to complex intelligence, or something else we haven't even thought of.
And this is where the theory gets absolutely terrifying. You see, the big question is, where is the filter in relation to us? If the great filter is behind us, meaning the hard part was becoming intelligent in the first place, then hey, we're special. We're one of the first, or maybe the only ones to make it through. But what if the filter is ahead of us? That would mean some huge challenge is waiting for every advanced civilization. And when you look at the problems we're facing today, you have to wonder if we're staring our own great filter right in the face.
All right, that is a pretty bleak thought. It all assumes the universe is empty. But what if it's not? What if life is everywhere, but for some reason, they're all hiding?
This brings us to the dark forest hypothesis. And frankly, it's chilling. Picture the universe as a huge, dark forest at night. It's full of silent hunters, and the only goal is to survive. The best way to do that? Stay completely quiet.
Because announcing your presence, making a sound, could get you destroyed by another predator you didn't even know was there. Everyone is listening, but no one dares to send a signal. Well, except us. We've been blasting signals into the cosmos for a century.
Now, not all the hiding theories are quite that scary. There's the zoo hypothesis, which suggests advanced aliens are watching us from a distance, like a protected nature preserve, waiting for us to mature. Or maybe they're already here, just observing us from the shadows, masters of stealth, for reasons we couldn't possibly understand.
Okay, but what if the problem isn't that they're gone or that they're hiding? What if the problem is us? This final set of ideas suggests we're silent because we just don't know how to listen. We can't perceive them.
I mean, just look at this timeline for a second. Our galaxy is ancient. Humanity, we're the new kids on the block, an incredibly recent arrival. Entire galactic empires could have risen and fallen billions of years before Earth even finished forming. We might have just shown up incredibly late to the party, and now we're just wandering through the quiet ruins.
And that really gets at how clueless we might be. Think about it this way. We could be like ants crawling on a sidewalk. We're totally focused on our own little world, completely unaware that there's a global fiber optic network, the internet, humming with information just a few inches away. An alien civilization could be so far beyond us that their reality is all around us, but it's totally invisible to our primitive senses.
So what could they be like? I mean, the possibilities are just mind-bending. Maybe they've moved beyond physical bodies and exist as pure energy. Maybe they live in higher dimensions our brains can't process. Or maybe they communicate using things like gravitational waves or quantum signals that we're only just now learning even exist.
So, where does all this leave us? The Fermi Paradox isn't just some fun thought experiment. It really forces us to look in the mirror and ask some of the deepest questions about who we are and what our future holds. Every single possible answer has huge implications for us. Are we the only conscious beings in the entire universe? Does that give us some kind of special responsibility? Are we just the first ones to the party, or are we the naive new species in a very old, very dangerous neighborhood?
And the humbling, simple truth is, we don't know. We have no idea which answer is right. But in a way, that's what makes it so important. The silence isn't empty. It's a giant canvas filled with every possibility you can imagine. And it's what pushes us to keep exploring, to keep listening, and to keep learning.
And so we end up right back where we started, with that one simple, impossible question. A question first asked over a casual lunch that now echoes across the vast, silent cosmos, still waiting for an answer.